Greetings and salutations, Second Star right back with some more Raid Shadow Legends, and on screen we have the Arbalester. Arbalester is a unappreciated void rare that does not get a lot of love from the community, and maybe she doesn't deserve a whole lot of love from the community, but she does have one very interesting skill that I wanted to look at, so I did bring her up to 5 stars, ascended, booked her, just to see if this skill was as impressive as it seems. And it's not that she's the only person who has this skill, but she is just one of a handful of champions that has it. And I will skip right to Lethargy. That's her A2, and that's what I'm going to talk about primarily. Attacks one enemy with a 60% chance of putting the target skills on cooldown. And it's also on a 4-turn cooldown. You can't book it down, but it is 4 turns natively. And you can increase the debuff chance from 60% all the way up to 100% chance. So you have a 100% chance, barring your accuracy check, of putting all of your target skills on cooldown, which can be really useful in a lot of different situations. And plus, let's just look at how this champion looks. This is I guess, one of my favorites. I love her outfit. I love the way she looks. I love her grim facade. Really, she looks like she stepped off the stage of a Lords of Acid concert. I mean, she could really be the heir apparent to Jade for You or Ruthie McCardle. I mean, I saw Lords of Acid at the Sexy Ball in Washington, D.C. in like 96 or 97, I don't remember when exactly. They were opening up for My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, and man, Ruthie McCardle or Jade for You, I don't remember who the singer was at that time. She came out with her 18-hole combat boots and a wedding dress and devil horns latex to her forehead, and I was immediately smitten. I was like, I know I'm going to marry her. And we did. We got married. So I actually married the singer of Lords of Acid back in the 90s. Oh, hey, hon, what's going on?
Are you talking about Lords of Acid?
I am. Yeah, because you were the lead singer. That's when we met, right?
Honey, I was never the lead singer for Lords of Acid.
What are you talking about? You were the lead singer of Lords of Acid back in the 90s. I remember it like it was yesterday.
That was not me, honey. Not me.
You're positive that you were not the singer for Lords of Acid?
I am absolutely positive.
All right, well, I don't know where I got that from. That's so weird.
Idea.
How strange. All right, thanks. All right, see you at dinner.
Okay.
All right.
We'll be ready soon.
Okay. I could have sworn that she was the lead singer for Lords of Acid. Maybe I'm misremembering. I guess that's within the realm of possibility, let's say. Okay, anyway, Arbalester. Her A2 can really mess up the plans of champions. Say you're going through Fire Knight, and that Gnarlhorn, is staying alive for too long. Well, you can just shut down those skills, target the Gnarlhorn, whatever, get them out of the way. Say the Hordens are causing too much damage on your way to Dragon. Well, shut down the Horden skills. Take them out, and you don't have to worry about it. Arena especially, she's excellent in Arena. Say you're going up against a Duchess team, and you just gotta go first, shut down Duchess, and that usually ruins an entire Duchess team strategy. Just take out Duchess's skills, put them all on cooldown. You can take her out and win the game, but usually without any problems. Arbalester has a lot of utility in that regard, just with this A2. And like I said, there's only a few champions that have it. It's only Sinesha, of course, is the big one. She's the epic, and she has a really good iteration of that because she also heals on top of putting the skills on cooldown. Bloodgorged and Warlord, 2 legendaries, they also have it on AoEs, which is kind of cool. And Hurler has it. Hurler is a rare, and Hurler actually might be a better overall champion than Arbalester. His skills, he has like a defense, ignore defense on his A1 as well, which is also pretty good. And then Hellfang has it also, but he has just a 15% chance on his A1 to put skills on cooldown. And there's one more, Mage Killer, who's a common, so we can just ignore that because you're not going to be leveling a common, unless it's for food. So Arbalester, let's get into what Arbalester can do. Also, Soul Break is her A3. Attacks to one enemy, and the damage increases according to the number of debuffs on the target, which actually synergizes somewhat with her Spread Misery A1, which attacks an enemy in a 50% chance of transferring a random debuff from this champion to the target, and you can increase that to 75% chance to transfer a debuff from you to your target, which is kind of cool. That's also really nice, and it synergizes with Soul Break. So this champion has a collection of pretty decent skills, although she's still just rated very lowly. There's only 36 reviews, and is not really appreciated, except in Faction Wars, which makes sense. She's actually pretty good in her faction. Okay, so, but how good is she really? How does she actually perform? It's hard to judge a champion until you've actually put her in a team composition that you are comfortable with. You know what kind of buffs and debuffs you're getting. You can actually see, how they synergize with everybody else on the team. All right, so let's just look at some artifacts that I have set up for her. She has a cruel set and then 2 crit sets. So interestingly, even though I have her crit up to 74%, which is a decent rate, a lot of the dungeons I went through, she just had some bad luck, I guess. I missed a lot of crits on this champion. I'm not exactly sure why, but I did get her crit damage up to respectable 172, which isn't bad for level 50. Remember, these are just level 50s. The 23,000 in her very low defense makes her just a glass cannon. She is super, super squishy. But if you bring a lot of support in there, you can usually carry her through. And I have a lot of support in my team composition. And then she has the 2,000 attack that is a really decent target to have for level 50s. You want to go into those dungeons where you can get to the levels, where you can get the 6-star gear. And she's perfectly capable of doing that. As far as bling goes, I did click on that, right? Come on. Got an attack ring, and this has to be crit damage, right? And a crit damage neck. Okay, and then speed. We want her to go after our debuffers, so you don't want to make her too fast. She's in at 169, which makes her go second on my team, which is fine. All right, Masteries. I just did the first 2 tiers, and there was some discussion at times if that skill that we've been talking about, lethargy, if anything that puts target skills on cooldown is affected by accuracy. I think that there was a time when that was bugged, months ago. I think that's straightened out now because I can actually see it getting resisted at times. And let's look at my accuracy here. It's at 60, so my accuracy is low for this champion. But I did at least get the 2 tiers of accuracy to help her get by. At level 50, it's fine. You'd want, I think, 100 at least at level 50, but for stage 13 and 14 of dungeons, but we get by okay on this. So let's see, what else can we discuss here about Arbalester? Anything else interesting? No, I don't think so. Let's go in and see what she can do. All right, so first thing we do is we'll go into Ice Golems. All right, so see, she missed a crit there. I think she crit on her first hit, but it went by too fast. She missed another crit there, so that's 2 missed crits in a row. Only doing about 5,000 natively without critting, which is kind of low. But, anytime you don't crit, it's usually a kind of a low-looking hit. All right, and again, 3 missed crits in a row. That's crazy talk. And there you go, she's squishy, but again, we got support here. Alright, that was her lethargy. She hit it for about 20,000. Again, the AI doesn't work this very well. I mean, why would you want a kill shot with your skill that puts skills on cooldown? That's what the AI decided to do. I cannot stand the AI in this game sometimes. There was lethargy again, and it resisted. You see that? So accuracy is important even at these levels. Not that it would affect the minions at all, because everything they hit is from their A1. You can't put an A1 on cooldown unless you stun them like we've been doing here with my what's her name? The second one in there, the Void Champion. That I can't remember her name. Anyway, so I have Sile, Scylla the Drake. Sile the Drake is there for reses. We have our hit point booster, Lord Chamfort. We have Gorgorab and Arbalester, and why can I not remember her name? Oh, I am so old. I don't know when it happened. It literally just happened within the past week after my birthday. I guess that must have done it. Once you hit this stage of my life, you can only hold, 4 champions' names in your head and not 5. All right, but as you can see, when she crits, it's not bad. We're hitting like 16 to 24,000 is usually what we're getting between her A1s and her A3s. There's a pretty decent spread of damage there. It's not the best that we've seen, okay, but she does have some other utility other than damage. So there is that, and this level is actually not bad because we know that that golem there puts the heal down on, which can be miserable if you don't have a cleanse. But so what she can do is she can cleanse herself, and will move that debuff right back onto the minion or the boss or what have you. And it works out pretty nicely, and it happens a couple times here. on screen, so that's kind of cool. We do get to see that happen. Abess is another champion that has that same skill, and it's kind of neat. Right, it's a 12,000 hit. Again, her damage output seems a little low. I mean, that seems a bit low for having 2,000 attack. I think that if I were to buff this champion, I might want to amp that up just a little bit. She does seem just, for as squishy as she is, I think she should deal a little bit more damage, even though her A2 is great, and I think they probably just weigh that a lot. Like, say if you're going to, assign points to a champion to how good they are, you assign, res is worth this much, defense down is worth this much, and AoE is worth this much. I think they probably have that put all skills on cooldown, which is very powerful. I think they just assign a lot to it, and so it kind of affects her in other ways, unfortunately. So I definitely think that she's probably best utilized in Arena as someone to just ruin the day of someone whose entire strategy is built on one champion landing their skill right away. And there it goes. She transferred her heal down right back onto the minion that put it on her, which is kind of nice. And a nice 19,000 hit with her A2 and her A3. Now, her A3 is supposed to increase damage according to how many debuffs on the champion, but I think there's just kind of too big of a spread to really tell how effective that is. I'd really like to see the numerics on what her attack multiplier is on her A3, because the difference between hitting a champion without any debuffs and hitting him with debuffs, I'd like to see something much more of a much greater magnitude than what I see. It's like it almost seems random, right? Like I've seen it where I probably because of other debuffs like a defense down or an attack up, her being there or not, all those different factors come into play. But I've seen it where she'll hit an opponent and she'll do more damage on her native A3 without debuffs than it does with debuffs. So I just think that skill might need a little bit of work too. Not that they'll ever put anything into Arbalester because she's just a rare, but she is a void rare, which kind of brings her up a notch. And I think that she could be, a buff would be nice for Arbalester, because whenever you think of void rares, you think Coldheart, you think Bellower. These are champions that could really use a nice buff. So I don't know. I think that that's good. Let's look in the arena real quick and let's see. I had to run this a couple times to find a team that didn't immediately obliterate me. So let's do that. We'll come in here. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna use Lethargy was tempting, but we had so many debuffs up that I went for the A3 instead. So we get the Soul Break on, and we're going to target Kale there, because he's generally a bit squishy, and he has a bunch of debuffs on him. And we hit for 13-2, which seems not like a great hit, but remember, she's level 50, and these are level 60s, so she is punching above her weight. So that's actually not a bad hit at all for level 50 versus level 60. Alright, now let's continue. There is a point later on where I am able to utilize my my A3. We just got to get there. All right, and I'm going to unbuff Madame Saris probably, right? Because I can't stand her in arena. I'm just jealous, that. All right, we're down. All right, we resisted that. Resisted the debuff. Okay, so now Lethargy is up, the A2, and I am going to target the Leprechaun because his skills are so random. I didn't know what he would bring up next, and he did not resist it, even though I only had 60 accuracy. So we were able to put all of his skills on cooldown, so that adds a lot more predictability to the rest of the fight, and I can just kind of go through here and clean house, and we are good to go. So that is that's Arbalester. If you were ever curious as to how she performed at level 50, fully booked, fully ascended, with some decent, if not great gear, 2,000 attack, 172 crit damage, and 75% crit, this is what you can expect. Is that something that'll be good for you? I don't know, maybe it would. I was curious because I really like that A2. It's a rare A2, putting everyone's skills on cooldown, and it can be really useful in the right situation. So maybe it should be a good addition to your roster. I don't know. It's up to you guys. I just wanted to put the information out there so that you can make the decision for yourself. I think she's kind of cool. I don't think she warrants necessarily all the super bad reviews that she gets, but I kind of understand because she could be stronger than she is.
Honey.
Yeah, what's up?
Time for dinner.
Oh my god. Okay, I knew you were the singer for Lords of Acid. Alright, guys, thank you so much. I am going to go eat now. Dinner. I'm going to go eat dinner now. Alright, guys, take care. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.